Greetings.
The first time I heard about the Sons of Light was, I believe, sophomore or junior year. I only heard little things about them. I had heard a little bit about the coins and stuff, but it wasn't until Valentine's Day that I really got involved, with the rumors and stuff of the Sons of Light and everything. But I know that last spring when we got sent home because of COVID, they did like a virtual scavenger hunt. So, but I never really got, really into the story, the history of the Sons of Light. I just kind of knew that they were a thing at Samford. It was just some sort of cultish kind of looking group that was around Samford or something. But that's all I really knew about them until we started doing this research.
So it was definitely like my freshman year when I first heard about them, but they hadn't exactly been active my freshman year or even the year before necessarily. So it was sort of just like my other freshman friends being like, do you think it's actually real? And I loved it. Like the moment I heard about it, I was like, I really want to know more, but didn't really have anywhere to look. But it always intrigued me. So I remember I was really stressed that weekend, so I just sort of had my head down, was going and stuff. I heard someone like mention Sons of Light, didn't really think about it. So my friend Nicole was like, the Sons of Light did something. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought it might have been another coin scavenger hunt. And she just pulls this letter out of her bag. It has an official seal on it, and I love wax seals. And so I read it and was like, this poetry's not very good. But I was really intrigued by like the Valentine's Day letter because I'd known they'd done Valentine's roses in the past. And so I just sat down with the letter on the floor and just, enjoyed it for a bit, went back to work.
It was after Valentine's Day. We went to the cafe for dinner. It was a Galentine's. I was with some of my sorority sisters, which are also my closest friends, my roommate, and we were going to Galentine's, but we were at the cafe for dinner, and all of a sudden, two of my roommate and one of my sorority sisters got up and they said, we're gonna go find one of the letters. And we were kind of like, wait, what? And we were really confused. And they were like, the Sons of Light. They did a scavenger hunt. We're trying to find more of the letters. And Nicole's like, I found one, but we're going to try to see if we can find another one because there were still like 3, I think, left that have not been found yet. And we kind of were just sitting around like, okay, bye, y'all. And then they called us and they were asking actually my big, a couple questions. My big is a senior, so she's familiar with Samford's campus and everything, of possible ideas of where letters could be and stuff.
Great.
And then we kind of were like, why don't we just all go try to help find it? I mean, even if we just are just walking around and finding it, it's just a fun little adventure.
Okay, y'all, so remind us again where we're going.
We're going to the conjunction of the music theater building. When they said miniature city, there's 2.
So that's what we did. We finished up. We were walking around. We went to multiple different buildings. One of them was kind of a religious kind of hint, so I was like, maybe we need to go to Reed. Maybe we need to go to Hodges Chapel. Eventually, we did kind of give up a little bit. We thought maybe they were found. We got really close with one because we knew exactly where it was. It was like a locker number. I think it was like locker 39. That's all that the hint said. And my big was like, oh, I know exactly where that is. And we were walking, as we were walking in the door, I glance over and I see a student holding the letter. And I was like, oh, y'all, she has it. I was like, we were so close, but it was just found. And that's like, we were trying to, we lost my big for a brief second.
Where did Abby go? She was just with y'all, I thought.
She just magically disappeared. But then we found her. But then at that point, we were like, okay, y'all, let's just call it a night. Let's go enjoy our Galentine's movie night. And we did. It was nice. But then I kept checking, and no one had still found those 3 letters. And I think it wasn't until the next day that they finally posted on Instagram and said, okay, all the letters have been found. Thank you for joining us. And I think that was kind of the first taste I got of the chaos that is the Sons of Light.
Oh my god, I hate everything about this. I don't think there's any spirits in here, but if there are, God will protect us.
I was having dinner at the AOPI house with Mackenzee and Nicole.
That I sort of started thinking in terms of like the Crimson and writing and doing a story about it, that I was like, I think this would be a really cool story to write about the Valentine's Day letters and to do like a Sons of Light thing.
We were like, okay, we made an agreement. We literally shook hands and we were like, okay, let's do this. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this a project. We're gonna try to get as much information as we can. And as journalists, we're gonna basically become kind of investigative journalists for this.
I was thinking about how to contact them because you obviously don't know who they are, you don't know where they are, what professors and stuff. So they had an Instagram account. And I decided I was gonna message them on my personal Instagram, just to see like, hey, just in case they read it. I was talking to my friend Nicole, and it's sort of like I just decided like I was gonna message them, and I wanted to do it for my personal account first, just to be like, hey, I work for the Arts and Light section of the paper. Want to write a quick thing about Sons of Light. Was wondering if I could talk to you guys. Not here to expose anyone, just want to like have some fun. Because I felt like if I did anything too like direct or professional, they might think it was investigative, like I was trying to dig up their secrets. And I thought that wasn't going to work if I took that approach, because they'd probably stay as far away from me as possible. So I just DM'd them.
When Mackenzee was gonna send that DM, I don't know if they were gonna respond. I was kind of preparing her a little bit. I wasn't as harsh as Nicole and Rebecca were, but I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, maybe we need to look at some other alternatives, and Mackenzee was looking at other alternatives.
They were trying to just keep my hopes and expectations low, but I didn't like that very much. I didn't like being told it wasn't gonna work. So I remember I kind of like went back to my room that night and was like, at some point I'm gonna interview them. I've got 2.5 more years left at Samford. I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna interview them.
But then I get a knock at like 11 p.m. at night.
Okay. What did they say?
So basically, they said like they couldn't show their face or anything, but if we gave them a list of questions, they'd answer them and we could use any of their answers in an article.
Okay, so now we're just gonna think of articles. Oh my god.
I was so excited because I was thinking like the long game. How am I gonna figure out, I could talk to Dr. Westmoreland and make him help me. Like, I was doing all these schemes at how I was gonna get it done, and they just answered me back within 24 hours.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna have to.
Rebecca?
A couple days later, I think it was the next day, it was the snow day. And so we met that night to come up with questions that we could ask them. Ones that are, just overall history, because that was really our goal, was to really figure out their history. Why do they do things the way that they do things, not to really expose them. We never wanted to expose them.
When I got the message back, they were like, we'd love to answer your questions, but we don't know how to do it because they weren't gonna meet me in person because of COVID and also secrecy. So I offered to email them the questions, and they gave me the official Sons of Light email address, and I sent them the questions. And it was just sort of was like, you guys can choose to answer whatever questions you want, ignore the ones you don't want, because I wanted to give them, like, they wouldn't throw it all out because of one question.
So I was like, okay, send it off. So we did, and we waited for 24 hours. And it was, for me, it was a very long night that next night, kind of just like trying to make myself busy. And then I got a knock again.
Yes.
So first of all, I was right. It was closer to 10:30 than it was to 11:30. Number 2, they didn't answer any of our questions.
What did they say?
Mackenzie, now is not the time to discuss the letters. We will contact you with answers to your questions soon. In the meantime, we ask that you publish this riddle unedited in the Crimson. The first 9 students to solve the riddle will be rewarded. Each student should solve the riddle individually. We will know if the students collaborate. The riddle contains 10 consecutive clues to lead the seeker to the light. On this day, God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Shape of the sun to guide thy steps. Paul christens us children of light in a chapter. Paul christens us children of light in a verse. Shape of the full moon to guide our steps. While the sun's light failed, it is finished at an hour. So many fruits, against such there is no law. Torah and books, rest, eternity, infinity, grandeur, heaven turned. Grace and peace, the sons of light."
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Wait, is the answer that many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I bet all the capitalized things rearrange and scramble to fill in those blanks to make it work.
There is a whiteboard downstairs in the study
let's
room.
go.
Okay, wait.
We immediately kind of met in the study room, got out a whiteboard, and started kind of reading through it and breaking apart the riddle, like trying to find something, some sort of meaning. We thought that maybe it was the letters like scrambled. I thought it was an anagram. We tried to break it down because it was like 10 dashes or like 10 like possible answers. I woke up the next morning, couldn't really sleep because of the riddle. And then I got that realization of numbers. And I texted Mackenzie and I told her to come down to the study room when she's awake to discuss, and that I think that I cracked the code.
Good morning. It is now, 8:41. It's the next day after we got the email, and I think I figured out what we're supposed to be looking for in the riddle.
And then I told Mackenzie, I'm like, wait a minute. There's 10 sentences. The riddle is 10 sentences long. There's 10 dashes for where they said that's the answer.
In this riddle, it's 10 sentences.
What's the first letter of every sentence?
No. Just read what I did. On this day, God said, "Let there be a firmament that the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." That's the 3rd day of creation. Mm-hmm. Then Paul christens us children of light in a chapter, chapter 5. Paul christens us children of light in a verse, verse 5. Then, whilst the sun's light failed, it is finished at an hour. We said that was probably 3 p.m. Torah and books, there's 5 books in the Torah. Rest, I think they're talking about the day God rested, which is the 7th day. I went through that and, wait, I need 1, 2. Yeah. So I need to add one more, but then I just added what letters, what number. I think that is the possible breakthrough that I made.
It doesn't spell anything.
Not yet, because we only have 5. There's 24 letters in the alphabet, Mackenzie.
I don't think it's that deep. Because they also suspect that 9 people will be able to solve it.
It was obvious that that was some sort of idea. And I didn't want the reward. I didn't want anything. I just wanted to solve it. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to do.
This is some in-depth shit you're doing here. Like, I think you're doing too much, baby.
Well, what else could it be, Mackenzie? If it's not
this,
if it's not what else could these riddles mean?
I don't know. I think the riddles are a distraction.
There are 10 numbers in my phone number.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna get all the numbers together and you're gonna start texting every combination?
No. They're in the order. This is -1, 2, 3, 4. So either they're letters or they're numbers. That's what I think.
After explaining it to her, Mackenzee thought I was crazy, was asking if I was okay. And at that moment I realized I needed a break from this, so I kind of stepped back a little bit. We prepared the Crimson issue, and that's when we were going to publish the riddle. We made a couple social media stuff that were definitely going to be posted, and we tagged the Sons of Light. It was a late night preparing that issue, and then we were like, okay, we're ready to go. Woke up that Tuesday morning to publish the issue. We published the issue, and I immediately posted on Instagram, and I texted Mackenzee, it is done. Sons of Light had reposted our post, which was great. Contact. There was a sign of life with that account, but still hadn't heard. They didn't post anything. They didn't say people had solved it. We even did a poll and asked students, and it was kind of a joke. We made like a multiple choice kind of thing, like you solved the riddle, you tried so hard and got frustrated and gave up, you didn't even try to solve it, and not really successful responses with that. I messaged them a couple times through the Samford Crimson Instagram account and heard nothing. So since then, there has been absolutely dead silence from the Sons of Light on our end.
Holy shit. What just happened? So I got a phone call. I took a screenshot of the phone number, but they said it was a message, and it said, congratulations, you were one of the 5 that's selected that solved the riddle. Email us at the Sons. Yes. Oh my God. I didn't even have time to like record it or anything, but it was literally like the video, like the voice from the Instagram video.
Greetings. The Brotherhood of the Sons of Light hereby extends to you an invitation.
You okay? Yeah, just chilling, and then I thought it was going to be one of those, we're here to talk about your car's extended warranty. And it wasn't. But yeah, send that to me so that way I can, because they told me. What the